What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerdcast for the next episode of Dead State. In today's episode, I've got some explaining to do. Essentially, what had happened is I recorded like the next 10 episodes, and all the video data got corrupted because I guess my viewing software decided to fail without telling me. So up at the top left corner of the screen, there's always like this little indicator that's like red if you're recording. It said that it was recording, and it was recording, but the file that I got out was like this nasty, corrupted, weird, visual artifacty file. And so I kind of have a little bit of future knowledge right now, and that's going to bother some people, but luckily I was able to roll back my save, and so here we are. Just be aware that if I start to play a bit more pro over the next couple days or the next couple episodes, and it seems like I know what I'm doing, it's because I totally know what's coming, and I've already played this part before, so that's that. Ooh, 10 parts, and beef jerky! How could this day get any better? Parts and beef jerky and flashlights. Pretty good day for us right now. Pretty good day for us. We've got some cryptically named potato chips. Well, actually, I guess they're sort of literally named. They didn't really... The marketing department may have dropped the ball on that one. I want everything but that. And unfortunately, there we go. So we'll get rid of that. I wish that nasty loot, like the loot that was subpar, was on a different like bracket or something, so you could just auto loot all of this real fast if you wanted it. More beef jerky. Even more beef jerky. What's in the pot? A rat. A second-hand rat. So much worse than a first-hand rat. First-hand rats, though, they do give better accounts of events. Lots o' nuts. Marketing department, once again, they've done an explicit, amazing job at telling us exactly what's inside that bag. This guy's got a torch, a helmet, a flashlight, and some codeine. That's an adventure pack right there. That guy was ready for his camping adventure. And this over here, we'll grab that. And I think that's just about all that's on this map. I am trying to hoof it and like catch up. So basically, I might be playing... This next part, I might play it a little bit balls to the wall because I am trying to, get back to where we were. I'm trying to make it all the way back to where we were as fast as possible while still doing all the activities that I did in the previous episodes that got lost. There we go. And so what I'm going to say we should probably do right now, it looks like these fields are made entirely of weed, or is it just me? I don't know. They've definitely got kind of like a weedy look, but then it goes full circle. It's almost like somebody like made a double weed leaf and then added an extra leaf in the middle so that it just did like a circular palm frond type thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being an idiot. Let's go back to the base, because when we go over here, we're going to go to a Menard strip mall. And Menard strip mall is a very, very dangerous place. Like, seriously, things can get out of hand so quickly at Menard strip mall, so be aware of that. Menard strip mall, I'll kind of explain the problem. It's because the map is buggy. It's not necessarily your fault if things go wrong there. It can be your fault, but most of the time the map is just buggy, and I'll explain how in a minute when we get here. But for right now, what I'd wanted to do when I came back, and one of the big things that I'd wanted to do, and if I'm going to have to re-record all this anyways, one of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to make sure that our equipment was a little bit better. And so something that I had noticed over time is that our equipment scheme was not necessarily the most cogent. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure everybody's prepared to fight with just about anything we come up against. And so I want backup weapons like knives, just in case we have to fight humans, because having a hammer against humans, obviously not something that you really want to strive for. On this side, what I want is another knife on her. I'm also going to use her bonus slot. Well, let's use these two codeines. We'll refill the bag slightly. Let's throw everything else into the inventory over here. We don't have to worry about guns losing their bullets or anything. It's just special items that lose their charges when you stock them. So we've got all of that over there. I might give her a tear gas just in case things get really, really out of control on this next map. I'm going to get rid of the pistol, and the reason being is that we actually need a real gun. For the first time, our gun has to be amazing. If we get caught up in combat on this map, it is going to suck for us. And even with this Remington pump shotgun right here, I'm willing to bet we probably still won't fare very well. So we're going to do the best we can. But right now, we are just not equipped to deal with what's at Menard Strip Mall. But at the same time, I want the stuff that's there. Like, I want all the loot. The other thing that I needed is I actually found that Joel is really good with a baseball bat. So I'm going to take Anita's baseball bat. Anita bat. And we're going to put that over here so that he can hit a little bit harder against zombies if he has to. And where did that run off to? It's around here somewhere. There it is. Oh, hell. There we go. And so now everybody's equipped and loaded for bear. Let's go ahead and swing back on out here, and we'll go to Menard Strip Mall. And this might get a little bit weird, but I think we can make it. I think we can make it. The pitter-patter of little feet. I would bring Doug along with me because Doug is a really, really good character. But bringing Doug is a bad idea right now because I have to finish the wishing well. We needed wishes to be answered, and so we decided to dig a wishing well. Isn't that why everybody digs a well? It's not for stupid things like thirst. You dig a well so that you can throw pennies into it and you can make wishes. That kind of weirds me out, though. Does that mean back when people actually had wells, people were always throwing coins into them? Coins are super dirty. If you know anything about currency, coins are disgustingly dirty. So that makes me kind of nervous. This map, okay, so Menard Strip Mall is dangerous because it's the first area where you have to deal with coyote looters. Coyote bandits are like the first most badass bandits that you really, they're right here. They've got like deagles and really, really badass weaponry. Like stuff that you really, really, really do not want to have to deal with. And so I'm going to try and stay away from them. But the way that the map is buggy is, let's say that we start combat right here. Let's say I open combat in this spot and then I just close it. So I press the spacebar twice. What's going to happen is they're going to aggro. It can also happen if you do it back behind the building. And so you can actually aggro people through buildings on accident, and it can end up killing you. So just be aware that that is a bug that happens with this map with the looters, where sometimes they enter into combat when they shouldn't. So if you're going to be running around causing problems over here and wreaking havoc, what you want to do is just bring one guy. Don't bring your entire party, because sometimes, like, let's say I leave my party back here by the cars and then I go back here, they could still potentially aggro the guys that are right here just by standing here in combat. They'll loot they'll get those guys. It's a big problem for which there's no real solution. It's just kind of like a flaw in the engine, I guess. So just be aware that these are things that can happen on this map. Opening up combat, you can occasionally aggro things you didn't intend to that are actually outside of line of sight, and just all kinds of other problems. But what we want to accomplish today is we actually just want to eliminate zombies. That's all that we care about for right now. So we're going to run around. We're going to get rid of all the zombies. We're going to loot everything that we can. Then, once the wishing well is done... Oh, wow, you one-shotted him? Hell. Then, once the wishing well gets done, we'll be able to bring Doug back. We'll give Doug a shotgun as well. And then, if you've actually got the weaponry you need in order to kill the enemies that are out here, you'll do a lot better. You will do a lot better. With 2 shotguns, you should be able to deal with everybody out here. No problemo. I'm going to loot this building real fast. It is a clothing store, as I recall. Yes, some naked nudie mannequins. Ooh, construction boots. Cool. The loot in this game is semi-randomized. I know this because the last time I played this was on the corrupted data. Of course, I'm going to be referencing that a lot, so just be aware that I have foresight from this location. The last time we didn't get loot anywhere near as good as those construction boots, so things to be aware of. Let's go ahead and take those back to our party. You can fight with these guys, but the sound of gunfire will occasionally draw the other coyotes around. It's been sort of hit or miss for me. Sometimes I'm able to assassinate these guys without any trouble. Other times, it brings everything in the map down on me. So, more things to think about while you're looting this map. Let's get everybody right here. We're just going to walk up the street, kill every single zombie on the map. The reason being is that you can also have weird unintended effects over here. So let's say I go into combat with these coyote bandits over here. There are bandits and looters all over this map, and they start getting into fights with zombies that are attracted to the gunfire. And the next thing you know, you've got a map that's covered in like 500 zombies. Everything has gone wrong. You're sitting at like 4 health wondering why the universe has decided to do this to you. And it's just RNG. It really, really is. Like, sometimes the zombies actually help you by killing the guys you're fighting with, but they zombify them, so then you gotta fight zombies that are in armor, which is all kinds of bad news bears. It's just everything can go wrong around here, so just be careful. Be very, very careful with the Menard Strip Mall, because there are just so many things that can go wrong here. Just take it slow with one character, whack zombies, play a little bit of Whack-A-Zed or Miss-A-Zed. Miss-A-Zed is a lot less popular as a game. Whack-A-Zed's pretty popular. Miss-A-Zed, eh. We'll come back and loot these in a second once I've got them all sorted out. There's another Zed right here. There is a coyote bandit right around this corner over here. So I'm hoping that bug doesn't get us where they just aggro into combat. I don't know that it did, but I'm going to run away. Okay, it didn't work. That's fine. Nothing on that corpse. I'm going to start looting now that we've gotten rid of the majority of the zombies back here. Purity tablets right there. Those are tablets that are saving themselves for marriage. We'll go over here. We will grab that. We'll grab that right there. Just like life advice. I don't know if I should overstep myself right now, but wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't recommend. I'm not trying to be an asshole to anybody that like made that decision or whatever, but wouldn't recommend it. It makes for a very, very weird wedding night. That's what I would throw out there. I would just throw that. It's just wouldn't I'm not going to go any further because this is a family channel, but just saying, man, the abstinence route, really wouldn't recommend it. Probably going to put yourself in a very, very weird, awkward situation later on in life. If I had a choice, I would not take that vow. That is not the vow for me. Let's go over here. Kill off a couple of Zeds. What does this one have? Some sham and some shotgun shells. That's actually awesome. Shotgun shells are a currency in this game. Shotgun shells. The shotguns tend to be really, really good in this game. I was surprised. If you have somebody that can reasonably hit their shots every single time with a shotgun, you're basically guaranteeing they're going to kill somebody every single turn. It's pretty stellar. I'm going to grab that right there. He's almost full up, but there's another zombie around the corner over here. There's a bunch of looters in this building, so we'll deal with that in just a second. Sorry, I wish that it was blind, but there will be no hilarity right here because I'm going to chop my way through and just kind of do this easy mode, knowing full well that there's nothing out here that can actually harm me. A couple more 38 rounds. There's some sodas and some toilet paper in here, as I recall, unless the loot got randomized, which, of course, the loot is randomized. It's randomized when you load into the screen, though. So let's say that I had saved after I had loaded into here. It's all generated when you first go to the zone, I think. And then after that, it saves. So some games make it where you can actually re-loot things over and over and over again in one spot, and they randomly generate the loot each time you open the container, but this game is not one of them. If you're also wondering why my voice is a little bit raspy, it's because I recorded like 12 hours yesterday and everything got corrupted. Couldn't be helped. I'm not like mad about it. It's just like one of those things that happens occasionally when you're a YouTuber, that every now and again you just like lose everything one day, and it's heartbreaking, but you carry on. You do the best you can. Got some hot sauce right there, and that's a rare item that I like to have. We got some coffee beans and some wine. I had a roommate that really, really liked wine. She was a major wino. Like, she didn't get drunk every night, but she drank a bottle of wine a day. She would get home from classes and she got these cheap, really nasty $2 Chuck cabs. Or maybe they were, yeah, I think they were cabs. Anyways, if you don't know, it's a Cabernet. But anyways, she would get a nasty bottle every day on the way home from school. It's like $2 wine, and she'd have it drunk by 7 o'clock every night. She didn't get drunk off it. She just really, really liked drinking wine with every meal. I think there's a zombie right here too, but I don't remember. Bring one of these plasmas back with us. I mean, it's a long walk to be carrying a plasma, but you know, things to think about. This place over here, this is kind of a weird combat because there's no way to do it efficiently. This room is so small that your best opportunity is basically to bait them back into this bigger room if you can. And I may attempt just that. Let's leave everybody outside, actually. Let's see if we can make this work. There's a fight with a couple of looters in here, and I'd like to kill them without them using up all of their loot. And so, in the interest of that endeavor, are those better than the combat boots? They are. Wow. Huh, okay, we'll put them on our tank then. An extra armor class never hurt. I'm going to give the boots to Joel. Like so, since he's like our guy with the least amount of amazing resistance items, I think I'm going to leave that there. And let me try and kite these back into this room. There we go. I'm going to start the combat. I'm going to sit back right here. I'm just going to wait for him. There we go. You guys can have the first turn then. I don't care. Okay, I've been shot. As usual, it did 0 damage. And what I'd like to do is actually pull back to here, if at all possible. They're walking around, but they get bugged out back in here, and it can be difficult to get them to do like what you want. There we go. A little bit better right there. So what I would prefer to do is actually try and like drag them back this way. Like essentially keep them in line of sight, but make it so that they're not like shooting me every single turn, because I want their ammo. If they unload their guns at you, unfortunately it puts you... There we go. And if we can get them outside, we'll be in really good shape. That might actually break combat, though. Okay, so the gunner's right there. That's fine. I think I can actually make this work. I'm going to have him swap positions right there. Actually, no. Swap positions back. That did not work out according to the way that I wanted to, although she can swap to there. And that puts Tweedletime in a position to run over to here. Get a couple stabs on that guy. 22 points of damage right there. What does Ebola cost me? Can I do that? Yeah, I was going to say, it's probably going to cost too much, right? So now what I got to do is hope that they don't do exactly that. It takes shots at me. This looter right here, though, we need it to go. I'm going to move him to there. He's not going to have enough action points to do anything, but it's okay. I'm going to have her use a slash so that we can get a little bit more damage out of it. Hopefully we can tackle this guy on this turn. I'm trying to get the ammo out of him. That's all that I care about is, unfortunately, it's going to use up the entire clip before we can get anywhere. Unfortunate. Kind of shooting the wrong person right now, but I guess I can make it work. Get going over here on this guy for a little bit of damage. She's going to have to heal him, otherwise he's going to die on the next turn. And if I go to here, that'll actually work out tactically reasonably decently to put him in position for 3 attacks. There we go. So that guy's down. Go over here. Get an attack on that guy. This can get like a little out of hand. Okay, so a little bit more damage right there. And he's poisoned. That's weird. How do you get poisoned from a baseball bat? We also have a couple problems in that these might come back. Me make sure that they're gone. Yeah, there it is. That's what I was concerned about. Alright, well, open up the inventory, get your hammer back out. Get at least a little bit of work done on this thing. And no bite right there, so that's good. At least we didn't get bitten. He's got a bat. It's an armed zombie. He's moving up his zombie game. He's using extra peripherals now. Pro level. Well, he got a miss from Uncle Joel. That's about it. There we go. Get rid of that Zed. Got a shotgun shell right there, and that should finish up the combat, I think. Yeah, we got him before he was able to use up some of that ammo. He used up all the ammo in the Glock, but he didn't use up all the ammo in the pistol. So with those guys that are weak, but they have those pistols, I try to take them without like them losing ammo so that I can at least... The best loot you can possibly get out of those mobs is the remainder of their ammo. Like 10 bullets goes a long way if you can tackle them on the first turn and just take them out. Food prep table. He's going to be out of space. So let's go back here. And in fact, we might be able to loot one of these buildings behind the backs of mine enemies. I think we can, in fact. If we go all the way back around and over to here, let's do this on follow mode, though. So this building's going to be the ones that the coyotes have sealed off. I'm going to try and kite this coyote. There's a coyote over here with armor that I want, and actually having him add on to the combat totally sucks. So I'm going to try and drag him backwards. Whether or not it's going to work, I'm not sure. But I'm going to make the attempt, I think. There's some shampoo and some combs right here, so we're going to loot with some extra style. Got to keep yourselves looking fly. Definitely, you got to make sure the hair's looking good before you go out zombie slaying. What else can I say about it? Then have him reload that and set that as an active item just in case. We're going to try and drag this guy. So there's a coyote looter right here. We're going to try and drag him all the way back if we can manage it. He's got a nasty, nasty little weapon, but I think we can do it. If we can make it happen, it would be more than suitable. So now what I want to do is let's stop them over here. And the attempt that I'm going to make is going to be to drag this guy back like so. Shit. All you can really do is hope that this doesn't drag back everybody else. It might. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a gap in between him and me. And we're just going to hope that all the other looters don't come. Not too much of a gap, though, because sometimes he'll lose the aggro. You kind of just want to drag him back to the best of your abilities. Alright. That sounds like something like one of those water bladders, a dragon back. It sounds like a water bladder that you would use when you go for a hike. Like, got myself a new dragon back. It's a 2-gallon dragon back, you know. Had a little bit of extra money after my pay raise, so... Now what we do... is we sit him on his ass, like so. Bam. Mission complete. Now, we do have a slight problem in that the other looters might come and look. But I think we can put this guy down. Maybe. Come on. You see what I mean? Like coyote looters, he took easily 160 damage right there before he went down. So you got to be careful about the coyote bandits. They're ugly with a capital U and maybe even a capital G. We've got armor right there. That's good because we can give that to one of our team members. Drag everybody back over here into the corner. There we go. So having dragged everybody back into the corner now, we may be able to peel off one at a time. We may be able to accomplish this right now. I don't know. We'll find out in a second. Let me reload that. And then I'm also going to move the shotgun shells around. I had some shotgun shells over here, right? Yeah, give him the shells. And then for her, have her give him the armor since he's the only one without armor. And now we got football pads. The football pads give you like 40% blunt resistance. It's really, really good for blunt weapons and biting from zombies. But against anything else, it's not actually that great. So now that we're back in party mode, I wonder, the rest of these guys have guns, which makes me nervous. That guy only had a sledgehammer. A sledgehammer is more than manageable. Are we full up on loot right now? More or less, I think. I'd like to try and kite another one of these back to another kill group back here, but I don't know if it's going to work the way that I want it to. It may backfire. I do want their guns, though, and I do want their armor. Their armor is fantastic. We don't really have the weight allotment to do it right now anyway, so I think what I'll do is I'll probably go back to base. We can't carry all the stuff they're going to drop. It's just way too much good loot, and it all weighs like 12 pounds a piece, so I think what I'll probably do here is first and foremost quick save, because I saved after that other software corrupted half the data due to a bad codec. I think that I'm just going to stay away from it for right now. We'll travel back. We're going to come back with a fourth guy, basically. 2 people on the road. I've had this encounter before. This is going to be hilarious, though. This is a decent encounter. It's humorous. We're going to be up against humans in case this check doesn't work. So let me swap that over to there. And you can actually just like walk away and not even do this. It's essentially just a bunch of guys with weapons that are kind of dangerous. Kind of dangerous and kind of scary. Hey, over here, my friend's injured. Can you help me out? No, because you've got the same portraits as a looter. What's it worth to you? We have supplies. We'll work something out. Could you please take a look at his wound? How much would you pay up not to end like him? Ha! Well, see, now we have a problem because only one of us gets to rob the other. I brought more friends. Come on out. What do we have here? We got a guy with an axe. Got a couple of people right there. I don't know if this is worth it or not. There's a lot of loot right here we could potentially bring back with us, although no armor or anything. He does have a shoddy. Well, you can negotiate out of this. So basically, you can negotiate, be like, you seeing this Bravo team? Take the shot. And they totally buy it. Like, it's hilarious. However, unless we get karma or something good for that, I think I'd rather kill everybody and get all the loot. Maybe. They've only got, like, bats and stuff, so I don't actually think this is going to go so terribly. We'll do the Bravo team one. Hey, who are you talking to? If you go with, so you can say this one, but then they get, like, skeptical about it. If you say this one right here, they're like, okay, we'll quit. Drop the one I'm talking to first. Whoa, no need for that. We're going. Call them off. You hear us? Don't shoot. I don't know what happens if you go beg for your life, but I know if you say get out of here, they take off, and you don't have to fight them. Please don't kill me. I know I've done some fucked up shit the last few weeks, but who hasn't, right? Please, I promise if you let me go, I won't mess with you ever again. All right, get out of here. Run! The thieves disappear. So I only did that so that you guys could see the combat options. That's actually pretty quick thinking right there. Although, why would you believe this guy? Like, none of us look like we're actually part of any military expeditionary force. Who even knows? But anyways, I'm going to take the walk back to base. And so I'm going to break the episode off right here. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me at the Nerdcast for the next episode of Dead State. I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode where hopefully we'll be able to deal with these guys over here at Menard. Then we'll cut up to the north. There's a bunch of locations up here that I scouted out. And so I didn't go to any of them, but I scouted them for sure. So we'll go take a look there. I think it's going to be a good time. I'll see you all in the next episode. Take care out there, everybody, and hi-do.